in the spotlight, they rise to fame. Finest fellas, remember the name. Guitars blazing, they rock the scene. Streaming glory and living the dream. Charging up, can't bring us down. In the chaos, we're ruling this town. Laser horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. But metal hearts will never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never scoff. Raise our horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas, living the dream. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never scoff. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take a bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. In the virtual arena, we own the field. In the virtual arena, we own the field. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas living a dream. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas living the dream.
There we go. Right. For some reason, it likes to give the echo straight away. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how we doing today? Finest fellas here. Welcome back to another live stream on the channel. We are going to be doing more of the Leviathan Box. I have 10 more gaunts to get done today. I need to find a better place for this camera. I'm going to fiddle about with this for a sec. Move all that stuff out of the way. Yeah, I really got to find a better place for this. Can I not just sit it on top of my phone or something? Or is that going to be too heavy for the phone? Ha! Got to find a better place. Nah, it's too much of my face. I don't really have any better place apart from down here, guys. Sorry. That is the best place for it. Logan, what's going on, man? Maybe try and angle the light so it's not all in your faces. But yes, so I have done 10 of the gaunts. They're not finished, these are still a work in progress, but we got the chitin done. So all I'm going to be doing today is the chitin on the rest of them. And it's going to be a slow job today, guys. So I'm just going to get cracking. Lots of work to do. On those other ones, we still have the hooves, the talons, the eyes, a couple of yellow details, the bases, You know, there's still plenty of work to be doing. But we'll get there. It is not a racing competition. If I hold my camera like this, is that better? Maybe. Find out in a minute. The trick for these, though, is being as neat as possible without hitting all the fleshy bits, and it's quite difficult. Because some of these details are so close to the fleshy bits, it's unreal. So yeah, that's all we're doing today, guys. We're just doing this over 10 different models. And depending how I feel when we get this done, I might start doing the hooves and all the other bits. Maybe. But as usual, it's going to be another really chill one, guys. Just hanging out, doing some space bugs. How we doing today though, Logan? You alright, mate? You having a good one? Making a fine mess of this one already. How am I doing today? I'm doing good, Wolverine. How are you, bud? I am doing fine. I'm just keen to get this this whole project moving, you know? What have you been up to? You gaming, or what is on Logan's to-do list today? You're doing okay. That's good to hear, my guy. Have you been enjoying the good weather that we've been getting? I'm going to try and get this bit of chitin in the back of his leg, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to reach it properly. Might just leave it. It's not super obvious. I keep whacking the phone. We got PyroTube. What's going on, dude? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Oh, that was a bit much, but never mind. That's a nice purple. It is, isn't it? It's Leviathan purple. Warhammer's contrast. It's going to be so difficult not to call them Citadel contrasts anymore. Like, everyone's still going to be calling them Citadel. It doesn't matter if they change their brand. Because people are so used to saying, oh yeah, Citadel paints. I mean, I'm definitely going to get caught out on it. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, but Citadel. And it's like, they're not Citadel anymore. But yeah, this is Leviathan purple contrast. And it's a good base color for what I want the chitin to be. Making a nice little mess of this guy, aren't I? Definitely gonna have to do some tidy up work on him. And to think this is 1 out of 10 for today. Not a good start. Have I missed anything? I'm currently working my way through the marine half of the same box. Hey. Yeah, I haven't touched my marine half yet. I've had this box sitting on my shelf for the past 3 years since Leviathan came out, and I haven't touched it. So I've just finished off doing a whole bunch of Space Marines, and I finally finished off my my 37 Space Marines, and I just noticed my camera's facing that way. Just finished off my 37 Space Marines, so I thought, yeah, let's do something else. Let's do some Tyranids. Mix it up a little bit, you know, because then I'll have to do the whole Space Marine half for this box, and then the 11th edition box is coming out soon, which includes, guess what? You guessed it, more Space Marines. Seeing if there's any bits I've missed. I think I have. Right, we'll do the tidy up work later. Let's just move on to the next one. Same, I got it at launch and never built it. Pyro, dude, you're preaching. You're preaching. Like, my big pile of potential has just been sitting here, and I've still got loads of work to do. I've got loads of boxes to get through. But, I've only recently started painting to a proper standard. Because what I used to do, buddy, and I'll show you, this is what I mean to my proper standard, right? I show all the new people what I mean by this. Come here, you little shit. This is my attempt at painting before. It was quick, and it was gross. And this is before anyone taught me about thinning my paint. This was all straight out the pot. You know, nobody taught me about thinning, or multiple layers, or dry brushing, or shade work, or any of that shit. This was just paint, straight out the pot, go, done, now I can go play games. So that was the result. But the reason my big pile of potential kept growing and growing and growing is because I painted that way and I didn't like how they looked. So recently, I've started painting this way. It's still obviously not going to win any golden demons, but, you know, I like it. So I've done all my Space Marines. Obviously, it's the Ultramarines, because we love Ultramar here. We love the boys in blue, the Smurfs, we love them here. I understand that some people don't, and that's fine, but we like them here. So yeah, now that I'm painting to a nice, okay standard, I'm working my way through all of my backlog. What Marine chapter are you painting, dude? I started with 8th, but benefited from watching Duncan Rhodes. Duncan Rhodes! Yes! We do love Duncan. Mr. Two Thin Coats. Come back and tidy up these panels later. Oh, thank God that was chitin. I was like I said, I just scored right across the model there. But yeah, these are still very much a work in progress. Like, even the other ones that I've got with the Catapus finished, these were my other 10 that I did the other day. I've got the chitin finished, but it's still massive work in progress. There's still lots of work to do on them. Somebody was saying to me the other day, is like, why am I putting so much effort into just gaunts? And I was just like, because there's still models, you know, there's still models to paint. I'd rather do them to a good standard. Well, I understand they'll die pretty quick on the tabletop, but I'd still rather have good-looking models. Right, let's get very close to the squishy bit. So for anyone who's new, you'll notice that I go periods of time without saying a whole lot, because I'm more of a painter than a talker. And a lot of the time I'm just focusing on my work. So just as a heads up. Hey Ryan, what's going on, dude? If things go correctly, I'm gonna go to a proper Warhammer shop for the first time tomorrow! Andy has money. Ooh. Money, 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 money. Guess what, Ryan? I too am going to a Games Workshop tomorrow. I mean, I don't have money, but I too am going to a Warhammer shop tomorrow. Because I need to go and replace this pot of Leviathan purple that I spilled all over my desk. And I need to pick up a few other bits from the paint range. I'm so tempted to buy a Norn while I'm there, though. I really want a Norn. Alder Zone! Hey! How you doing, man? All this Tyrannid painting between you and JC makes we want to take a stab at it. Go for it, my dude. Join the Xenos. I mean, I've always liked Tyrannids, but I was always so focused on doing all my Imperial stuff that I never got round to it. And then obviously this Leviathan box gave me the perfect excuse to do some space bugs. What Hive Fleet would you do if you did Tyranids? Now, I'm doing Leviathan simply because this is the Leviathan box. That's the only reason I'm doing Leviathan. I don't have any strong attachment to Leviathan as far as lore goes. You know, I don't have that thing where I want to be like everyone else. Like, everyone else is painting it, I want mine like that too. No, nothing like that, guys. It's simply because this is the Leviathan box. So I'm just trying to keep it thematic with what the box is. That's all. Although, Older, did you see JC's Behemoth model? His Behemoth model looks sick. There's way too much paint on that brush. His Behemoth model looks great. There we go. It's as close as that's gonna get. Ryan, so that's what... Wait, I have no idea what you just said, dude. I'm nowhere near awake enough to try and dissect that. Hey, Strand, how you doing, man? Yep, it's going to be a lot of work today, guys. After this guy's finished, I've got 8 more to do. Whoop, hit the phone. This is delicate work. There's so many bits here that are just so close together. Some version of High Fleet Tiamat. Ooh. Oh yeah, the Behemoth scheme is really cool, man. I also might wait until I get more money, then I'll get a Dreadnought. I saw a purple ring around your mat. Ah, yes. Yes, that is what happened. Pretty much the whole pot of Leviathan Purple got knocked over when I wasn't paying attention. So I have to go and replace the whole damn thing, and I'm not happy about it, because I really didn't have the funds to go and replace a whole tub of bloody paint. And on top of that, I was feeling kind of lazy. I didn't want to have to walk into town this week. So it means I've got to try and wake up earlier than normal tomorrow so that I can go into town and get replacement pot, because that one is pretty much empty now. Yeah, there's gonna be some cleanup work, but never mind. When it comes to the cleanup work, what I'll do is I'll do all 10, and then I'll just clean them all up as I go. I'll take a look at them all afterwards. Losing contrast paints is particularly painful. I once dropped and spilled Talisar blue on the floor! Oh, like a Smurf murder scene! Oh, mate. Yeah, thankfully I haven't dropped any on my floor, but a lot of them have been spilled on my desk here. Which increases my dislike of the Warhammer pots. I'm trying my best not to call them Citadel anymore. Would have been nice while they were rebranding from Citadel to Warhammer paints if they could have changed their pots. That would have been so good. Oh, there's some armor here I forgot to do. Strands only drop one, but you're waiting for it to happen again. Cleanup was a pain, I can imagine, mate. Talisar blue is one of those very interesting colors. deceptively pigment rich. Yeah, when I'm doing fine detail like this, guys, I tend not to talk much, so I do apologize. Yeah, that's getting tidied up, balls. Alright, that's all the back end done. I need some of my coffee, so I'm definitely not awake. The one I dropped was Blood for the Blood God. Hey! So it definitely looked like a murder scene in your place then. Hey Swiggy, that's nothing, mate. I can wake up, roll over, grab my vape, grab my phone, and spend hours just laying there in bed with my stuff. So I don't blame you, my dude. You just hang out in bed, man. You do what you need to do. Well, Ryan, you wait for it, buddy. It's gonna happen now. It's gonna happen one day. We've all been there. It's mainly because of the design of their pots. They're just so easy to knock over. Whereas, if I show you over here, I've got some... Now, I know the correct pronunciation is Vallejo, but I'm going to call it as it's spelled out, Vallejo. Okay, so don't torture me about the pronunciation. So I've got like Vallejo, and then Army Painter's Speed Paint 2.0, and they're in these dropper bottles. Now, I know that you can do what my friend did, Openstrand, who painstakingly transferred all of the Warhammer paints into dropper bottles, but I think Warhammer paints should come in dropper bottles. What do we think about that, guys? Should they standardize the dropper bottles? Let's create a movement. Yeah, Swiggy, how you doing, mate? Welcome to the stream, my dude. Yeah, apparently it's like Vallejo or something, or some stupid shit like that. Somebody was trying to tell me about it one time in a voice chat, and I was like, Vallejo? Are you kidding me? You don't even pronounce any of the fucking letters. You don't pronounce anything apart from a false B and an A, and then an O at the end. It's like, Vallejo. You know? What about Vallejo? V-A-L-H-O. Like, you pronounce... Never mind. That's gonna be a rant, and I'm not awake enough for a rant, guys. Leave me alone. You baited me into a rant, sir! Yeah, it looks like everyone kind of agrees that they should standardize over to dropper bottles. Well, not necessarily, Ryan, no. Because apart from contrast paints, you shouldn't really be using it right out the tub. And I only use some of them right out the tub. A lot of them I thin down. But I like Leviathan Purple, this shade. So a lot of the time, I'll put mine into... Now, this is one I'm throwing away, so don't judge me. Wells. I'll put it into wells, and I'll mix it with some kind of medium. Or if I'm mixing paints, I'll put them into a well. And use medium to help out. Like, for example, when I used my Talisar Blue on my Space Marines, it's like heavily thinned down. It's almost like a glaze. Most of the time, I do not use contrast straight out of the pot. And anyways, like other paints as well, Ryan, you should be using palettes for. Not necessarily a wet palette like that one, but you should be using palettes, you know? Not just straight out the thing, because you need to thin them down. A lot of paints need to be thinned down. And I've found, actually, that a lot of speed paints, excuse me, need to be thinned down as well. To some extent. But sometimes the pigment is a bit too rich for what I'm going for. But yeah, this is like one of the few that I'm using straight out the pot. I don't usually do this, and it feels very alien to me. Shades. I use shades right out the pot. Most of the time. What about everyone else? What does everyone else use, like, right out the pot? I'd say the one I use the most straight out the pot is shades. Technical paints. Okay, yeah, okay, I see. I agree, yeah. Phantom of Norwich saying it's too warm. There's a rumor Games Workshop will do a professional paint range with new pots. Of course they will. I think they should just standardize the dropper balls, personally. Like I said, Strand went through the whole process of transferring all of his Citadel paints, or Warhammer paints, whatever you want to call them, into dropper bottles, but I know he said he'd sit there with me on camera, and he'd walk me through the process, but I'll be honest, guys, with the amounts of Citadel paints I've got, I'm lazy for it. I'm a very lazy person, and I'm free to own up to that. I'm a very lazy individual. That's better. This is very difficult, these minis. They don't look very difficult because they're just gaunts, but because the armor plates are so close to the fleshy bits, it's a nightmare not to go over. It is pushing my skills to the limits. Oh, balls! Where's my paintbrush? That's it. Oh, I've got to clean that bit up, haven't I? God damn it. Swiggy, I use everything right out the pot. I'm not going to respond to that. Washes and shades. Hey, Frankie, what's going on, man? Yeah, I'm the kind of same, like shades and washes. Phantom of Norwich, if I were to paint shades, yeah. Last time I painted, I acted like I was in primary school and rubbed it all over my hands. I'm like talking about that, like I did the same when I was in school. I used to spread glue all over my hands, and then I'd sit there and peel it off my hands in class. That was fun. Yeah, I'm really upset by that. I've just smothered Leviathan purple all over his little gun. Because my hand slipped. Yeah, I'm gonna need to clean this gun up. But that is number 2. Almost done. I need to do his faceplates now. Might have to use a smaller brush for this. There's we go. That's better. Right. That was peaks. Love to do that. For some reason I pretended it was my skin. Right, Ryan? Right? Tell me about it, dude. Yes. Phantom of Norwich. I'm sure everyone did. Yes. Glue Club. Let's go. And then I used to take the bits off and flick it at my classmate at the opposite end of the table. Right. That's number 2 done for today. 8 more to go. Oh my god. 8 more. So what's everyone else up to today then? Anyone working on any projects, or just people hanging out, people at work, gaming? What's everyone up to? We just look at the kid eating the glue and then think to ourselves, why not just use it on their hands? Yes. Phantom of Norwich just hanging out after a day at college. Oh, okay. What you studying, if I'm allowed to ask? Hoping to get some Krieg engineers sometime soon, but they're always sold out. Do you know what, Swiggy? Do you know the big battle force for the Krieg? They're always sold out. I'd love to get me a Krieg battle force. That would be sick. But they're always sold out. Frankie doing brakes on a... Is that a Volkswagen? He is using the German war machine, the Volkswagen. Is that a Volkswagen? I found one on eBay for twice its original price. Fuck that, dude. I've kind of come to the mental kind of point now, guys, where once I've got through my backlog and I'm looking for new miniatures, right? Especially the Warhammer ones. If the Warhammer ones I want to paint are not available and they're out of stock, I'm simply going to look at other tabletop games apart from Warhammer. Because there are lots of miniatures I want to paint that are not Warhammer related. Like, all that Star Wars Legion stuff I need to rebuy. You know? So say I run out of Games Workshop I want to paint. Loads of Star Wars I can paint. I love Star Wars. Do you know what, though? Me and my buddy Strand had this conversation a little while ago about how cool it would be to have a proper Star Trek tabletop. Now, I know they've had some, like Star Trek Armada, I think it was called, or was it Star Trek Fleet something or other? I don't know. They did have one, but it's way out of date now. It'd be great if we could have that. I might just have to get myself a 3D printer and print myself off some minis. Like, even some of the ground personnel. But how cool would that be to paint? I think so. Oh, speaking of Star Trek Armada, Strand, I was playing some Armada 3 last night as the Borg against the Federation and the Klingons, and I got wiped out, dude. I think it's very difficult to win as the Borg. Because it just gets to a point where the power creep for the other factions just gets so high, where they can deal with your cubes and your trapezoids, diamonds, etc. so easily. I'd argue that the Borg are one of the weaker factions in that game. Which is a shame, because they shouldn't be. The Borg should be really scary. but they're just not. I was hoping to get the Battle Force as well. Yeah, exactly, Swiggy. The Battle Force would be so cool because you got the big artillery piece, which I think is like the big model of the set. Then you got like some engineers, you got some troopers, you got some of the weapons teams and stuff. The Battle Force looks great, but it's always out of stock. Which is a big shame. Level 1 independent skills and employability skills, right? Ryan, why does everyone hate the Tau? Not a clue, mate. I don't hate the Tau. I've got a Tau combat patrol sat over there built but not painted yet. Mainly because I'm going to be doing a homebrew Tau. And I haven't quite decided on the color scheme for it yet, but I will be doing them at some point. I like the Tau. I think they're interesting enough. I think they're maybe just frustrating to play against sometimes on the tabletop, but I don't mind the Tau. Let's see. Because of two main reasons. Yuval, welcome. I could have gotten 3 artillery and no horses, right? It's a main shooting army, and it's not fun to play against. Yeah. Also, hello, lol, nice painting. Yes, hello, thank you. I've made a lot of mistakes on these guys that I need to go and clean up, but I'll get around to it. All I'm looking to do is the purple on 10 of these guys today, and then I'm going to go play some games. Whereas tomorrow, if I can get these 10 guys done with their purple and all cleaned up afterwards, after all my mistakes, after I come back from the Games Workshop, I'll be putting all the finishing touches on them, like their hooves, claws. I'll be getting the bases done, their eyes, and then they will be finished. And then we move on to the next large number of models. The Barbgaunts, or Neurogaunts, whatever the hell those things are called. I think they're called Neurogaunts. No idea what they do. They just look like heavily armored gaunts to me, and one of them's got a big brain on his back. Yeah, they are, Swiggy. Yeah. Am I using contrast paints? Yes, I am, Yuval. I am using the contrast color Leviathan Purple. aptly named for this army. And this is the first contrast paint that I am using right out of the bottle. Or the tub, or whatever it is you want to call it. Mainly because I like the finish it gives me. But yeah, when I say finish the purple, guys, I don't just mean slapping on the Leviathan purple. I also mean doing the dry brushing as well. I've got dry brushing to do. And that thing that Chaplin was doing, you know that thing he was doing with the lines on the backs of the models? I want to do that. Now, I understand it may look a bit bizarre, me holding the model this way, but I feel like you should be able to hold the model whichever way you need to reach the bits you're trying to do. Now I've got this whole side to do. They do psychic stuff. Oh, fair enough, okay. Psychic stuff. That's awesome. Fans of mine tried getting into an orc chorus, but they didn't even respond back. I'm sorry, man. That sucks. I like calling the Games Workshop pots as a not yet killer can, since they're just the right size for a kit bash. The killer can, that's one of the orc walkers, isn't it? My hand is starting to shake. Deep breaths. we go. Let's see. Read that one. I can't believe I've known you for almost 10 years. Have you, Phantom? Have you? Are you one of my OGs? From back in the day? Oh, Mimi, I'm sorry, Phantom. I keep forgetting that you are Mimi. My bad. Yes, Mimi, yes you have. Almost 10 years now. I think we're getting pretty close to the 10-year mark, aren't we? Must be getting pretty close by now, Mimi. I've always loved to have your streams in the background. It's quite nice to see the Tyrannid transform from grey to ready to kill. Yeah. My Tyranids go from just being grey plastic to running around the planet going num 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 num, munching everything in sight. Now, exactly how am I supposed to get my brush in there? Just like that. Hey Mimi, or any of my old guys that used to watch the channel, do you remember when I used to play a space game called Space Haven? It was like that 8-bit, you know, really chill starship game, top-down kind of starship colony game. The reason I mention it is because it has recently gotten its 1.0 launch. It's finally out of early access. And I was really keen to give it another shot. Let's see. Would you rather fight 10 guardsman-sized orcs or 10 orc-sized guardsmen? I would rather that I insult the commissar's mother and be shot in the head. I used to rush out of secondary school to go play COD. Yeah, I miss those days, Mimi, where we all played as a big group, that the Legion would join together, and we'd all play COD and dominate the lobbies. I miss that. That was fun. Chaplin's here! What's going on, Chaplin? I see those Tyranids are still on the agenda. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. That's what I've gotten them to so far. But they're far from finished. I need to do the hooves, the teeth, the claws, the eyes. I need to do the dry brushing and the lines on the purple. I need to do the bases, obviously. So they're far from finished, but they're getting there. I'm working on my other 10 today. I've done 2 for the purple. I'm just working, well, on the last bunch, but I'm trying to be as neat as possible. And it's slow work, my guy. Actually, we were just talking about you, dude. We were talking about how cool your Leviathan, not your Leviathan, your Behemoth scheme was. How was your work today, though, Chaplin? You alright, mate? Termagants indeed seem to be hot thing at the moment. Do they? I'm only doing them because I figured I'd get the most numerous out of the bunch done first. So I've got like 20 Termagants, and then I've got 10 Neurogaunts, then I've got 5 Barbgaunts, and then I've got the big monsters. So I figured I'd do them numerically first, so get the biggest bunches out the way, and then slowly earn my way to do the cool models, like the Von Ryan Leapers, the Screamer Killer, the Psychophage, the Neurotyrant, etc. I'm really looking forward to my Leapers. Really looking forward to my Leapers. I've got to do my best tomorrow when I'm at the workshop not to pick up a Norn Emissary. I'm so tempted, though. I've just finished paying off my credit card, so my credit card is sat there fresh. I might go get me a Norn. I don't know why I would, though, because I've still got so many Tyranids to work on from this box. Coming along very nicely, thank you. Yes, Logan remembers, hell yeah. People are rushing to finish Leviathan before Armageddon. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, I'm one of those people. Because I know when Armageddon comes out, the 11th edition box, I'm going to be sat there scrambling to build everything. Oh yeah, your Behemoth miniatures look solid, mate. Absolutely solid. Although I'm going to be borrowing your technique, by the way. Do you know that technique you were doing? Where you were doing like the lines on their back. You were scoring the back of the armor. I'm going to be copying your technique if you're alright. Today was hot, too hot to work. Do you know what, Chaplin? We haven't had it too bad up here, to be honest. It's not been that bad. No, Ryan, I was saying the Von Ryan Leapers. Yeah, solid tactics, Swiggy. Then you have Armageddon dropping. Yeah, exactly, Chaplin. Yeah. I still need to do my research on the orc clans to figure out exactly how I want to paint my my orc boys. But hey, has anyone noticed? Nobody said anything. What's changed about my fucking face, people? Look at this gorgeous, beautiful face. What's changed? I'll give you a hint. It used to be on my chin. Am I going to paint both sides of the new box? What, Yuval, the 11th edition box, the one with the Marines and the Orcs? Yeah, I will. Although Chaplin and I were having a conversation. Let me close this and just have a yap for a minute. Yeah, so me and Chaplin were having a discussion about it, and he was asking me, am I going to carry on with those Marines in my, my Ultramarines company, or am I going to switch it up and maybe do a different chapter? And I really don't know. I think the answer will be, when I've finished my Space Marines for this box, it depends how tired I am at that point of painting Ultramarines. If I was to paint another chapter, though, I'm a bit stuck, because as much as I love Blood Angels, they're one of my favorites, I also enjoy the Templars. But if I was to do the Templars, I do kind of like my own version of the Templars. I love the Blood Ravens, and I would do the Blood Ravens, but the issue with the Blood Ravens is, like, Gabriel Angelos, the Chapter Master, was he was a Forge World model, and I'm not sure if you can still get him. But yeah, Gabriel Angelos was the man. I've seen lots of Leviathan Tyranids in social media, so I reckon it's because of Armageddon. No beard! Yes! I'm chin-bald, I am! Mimi thought you were imagining stuff. You look about 24, 26. Let me move the light out the way. Yes! I am young and sexy again. With the beard, I look like I'm about 40. Without the beard, I'm in my 20s again. Yeah. Now, it's actually already heavily stubbled. You can't see it because I have blonde hair, but it's already heavily stubbled. And my kid yesterday, because after, on Tuesdays, she has swimming lessons, and we take her out to her favorite restaurant, this Turkish place. Fresh Turkish food, every time. My mouth is watering thinking about it. It was so good. But I was snuggling her, and she likes to watch her phone after she's eaten her food, and, you know, I'll be drinking the Turkish tea and stuff, just relaxing. But she kept saying to me, "Dad, your face is so scratchy." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Go for a color scheme I've never painted before for the Space Marines. Well, I've painted Dark Angels before, so they're out. Obviously I've done Ultramarines. I think for me, it would be between 3 different chapters. It would be between the Blood Ravens, the Blood Angels, and my own homebrew version of the Templars. And when I say my own homebrew version, like, you guys know the Knights Templar. Like the medieval Knights Templar. The white armor, the metallic bits to them, but with the red cross. I would do my Templars as them. That's how I would do my Templars. 40 would be an improvement for me. Chat. Wait, what? Frankie, I was going to say Chaplain. Frankie, mate, you're as old as you feel. At the end of the day, you're as old as you feel. Right, I should probably get back working. Oh, and I tried talking my daughter into painting some of her Star Wars. Because it is just sat on that desk, doing nothing. So, when she has her sleepover weekend, I might do a little dad-daughter stream with my kid, and we'll be doing the, painting for her stuff. And we'll see how that goes. It will entirely depend on what mood she's in. Because I've got a really nice TV at my place, and her mother's TV is on its back legs. It's got failing panels. It's not particularly nice quality TV. So when my daughter comes to my place, she wants to watch the nice TV. So I've got to try and convince my kid to get some of her miniatures done. Have you ever played Darktide? Yes, I have. Me and Openstrand played Darktide quite a bit, but I was never very good at it. I was never very good at it. I used to always get Openstrand to carry me through levels. Even though we managed to get our characters maxed out and level, we managed to get all of them done, I was still never very good at the game. Though I did see for Darktide that they were planning on releasing the Skitari as a new playable character. That'll be interesting. I knew they were going to add a new character eventually, but I didn't know what it would be. I was personally hoping for some kind of medic character. Never mind. Chaplain's gotta go now. I hope everyone enjoys their evening. Good luck with the knits, bro. No problem, chap. No problem, mate. You have a good evening, my guy. I'll talk to you in a bit. If I don't chat to you before then, enjoy your vacation. Because I know you got a vacation coming up. Let me just do this little bit and I'll catch up on the chat, guys. It's really warm in here and it's drying out the paint on my brush very quickly. we've got these bits on the back here. Let's see. How old are you? Because I'm confused. I thought you were like 35. I am 33. I don't mind people knowing how old I am. I am 33. There we go. Just needs a little small bit. Just there. I'd say he's looking pretty snazzy. I always forget to do that bit on the end of their tail. I'll do. Whew, 3 down. And it's only taking me an hour and a half to do 3. Huzzah. Only an hour and a half. Yeah, I never get DLCs, but I'm excited for that. Let's see. You weren't far off then. Nah, you weren't. If this were me, I'd have gotten paint everywhere but the place it needs to be painted. Mimi. That used to be me though, to be fair. But so yeah, like I was saying about that space game, Space Haven. We used to play it a whole bunch on the channel back in the day. We're obviously talking quite a few years ago now, when it was in when it's in its alpha, and it's recently come out in its 1.0. So I'm gonna put a poll up on the channel later on, seeing if people want me to cover the 1.0 release. Because Mimi, remember how I was saying, oh, it's cool to build spaceships, but I'd love to build a space station at some point. They now have a space station mode where you can build a functioning space station, which will be really cool. So, yeah, I'm thinking about, if people aren't interested in it, just want me to keep it painting, that's fine. I'll just play it off camera, but I'm really keen to give it a shot. Epic, right? How many likes are we sitting on now? Out of curiosity. 3! Only 3! I'm heartbroken, people. Only 3 likes. Wow. I'm not feeling the love today. Why have the dark gods punished me so? What game was this? So Strand, it's an older game that I used to play on the channel called Space Haven. It's like a top-down pixel art kind of a space colony management game. Now, when it was in alpha, and the alpha that I played, which was quite early alpha, you could only do like a ship, and you'd explore and do missions and all the rest of it. But now you can build a space station. And apparently its 1.0 release is quite popular and very well done, that it's tempted me to do another little playthrough of it. It's a game I've had for years. Like, it's a cozy game. It's not an action-packed game by any stretch of the imagination. It's a very cozy colony game. And you know me, guys. Well, for those of you who know me, I like my colony games. Oh, and that Star Miner game came out as well. The one I've been waiting for. I'm not sure I'm going to jump into Star Miner, though, because it's launched into early access, I believe. And I'm not sure I want to back another early access game. Oh, Strands! Remember that survival game we were playing? It was like airships and stuff like that. Does that have a launch date yet? But it's early access. That's one I'll definitely back. Oh, and for those of you who play Space Marine 2, my fellow Space Marine 2 bros, what's this whole deal about a cape that everyone's trying to grind out for? What's that all about? What's the point in grinding it? What does it give you? The finest space station. Yes. Sins is back. What do you mean? Star Miner has mixed reviews. It does. It does. The gameplay I've seen is fine. But I don't think I want to back another early access game like that. Like, the gameplay didn't blow me away as much as I thought it would. I was hoping for a lot more. Sins 2 is installed. Sins 2? Oh. You went for the second one instead of the first one. Interesting. Sins of a Solar Empire 2. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You went for the second one instead of the first one. Interesting. Isn't that the one you were running Star Trek Armada on? So, the new version of Star Trek Armada 4, the unfinished one that has the Cardassians and the Federation, that's Star Trek Armada 4, yeah. But the one I was playing was Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. That has Star Trek Armada 3. Sins 2 is the newer one. Knowing you, you'll want to play as the Borg. If you want to play the Borg, you're gonna either have to wait for Armada 4 to launch them, or you'll need to play Rebellion. Oh, you have that as well. Oh well, there you go. Never mind. Making a mess. It was cheaper to get the bundle than just one. Yeah, of course it would be. But yeah, so, what was I gonna say? Yeah, just remember when you're downloading Armada 3, you also need to look in that, mods list in Armada 3 for the... I don't remember what it's called specifically, but it's a tool to allow the game to use more RAM so that it won't crash as much. I forgot what it's called off the top of my head. If I went to my computer, I could tell you exactly what it is. My hands are shaking. Yeah, so this guy's got some cleanup work that'll need to be done as well. Still being as neat as I possibly can be, though. You know, I said that Worf had a voice pack on that voice control I have. I just saw a voice line that has "Weapons are ready. I suggest we fire them at everything that moves." Yeah, that sounds like Worf. Worf, son of Moog. Yeah. I'm just looking at all the bits that I need to clean up. There is a fair bit on this guy. What time is it? 7:47. Why, are you wanting a few games of it tonight, are you, Strand? Hey, Strand, I can always come back live when you've gone to bed, dude. Because you know what my sleep schedule is like. I think this is the one I've made the most mess on, to be fair. So this guy's got a lot of cleanup work to do. What sleep schedule? Exactly. Alright, allow me to be more accurate in my statement. The times that I sleep are very flexible compared to yours. So I don't mind jumping on for a few games, because when you go to bed, mate, all I'm going to be doing is jumping back onto this stream. It's not a problem. I mean, I totally get it. If you're that scared that I'm going to kick your butt, it's fine. We don't have to play. How the hell am I supposed to get to that angle? Not that you can really see it, but I'll know it's not done. There's just absolutely no way I think I can get that. April, what's up, dude? How are you? Well, it's up to you, Strand. We can go play, or not. It's entirely up to you. Alright. Apart from the cleanup work, that's that guy done. So we've done 4 so far. 6 more to go, and then a load of cleanup work. Oh, no, I've not done his tail. My bad. Ah! Don't drop him. Alright, before I start on the next model, I need to know what Strand is saying. How you doing, April? How are your streams coming along? I've seen that you've been live quite a bit on Twitch. The cleanup work won't be that bad. Sure, I'll just need to DL the mod. No worries. Right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, it's a 2-hour stream. It's not bad. I'm going to leave you there for now, but I will be live again later on this evening. I'm going to take this opportunity to have a break, get more caffeinated so my hands aren't as shaky, and I'll be back later on this evening. Until then, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Bye-bye for now.
In the spotlight, they rise to fame. Finest fellas, remember the name. Guitars blazing, they rock the scene. Streaming glory, living the dream. Charging up, can't bring us down. In the chaos, we're ruling this town. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. But metal hearts will never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. People tune in, watching the fight. Their energy streams igniting the night. With every riff, the crowd goes wild. Finest fellas, forever a child. With sweat on our brows, we won't back off. Together we rise, we'll never stop. Raise the horns, it's showtime now. Finest fellas will take the bow. With metal hearts, we'll never yield. In the virtual arena, we own the field. We own the field. In this realm, we reign supreme. Finest fellas, living the dream.